in the slideshow in the chat. If anybody has questions as we go through, or you want to see anything more, want us to slow down, anything like that, please put it in the chat. Both be looking at it at different times, but I'll try to moderate that as we go through while Kate drives the car to the computer.
All right. So we have included about 5 or 6 different tools that we think would help out to get you started, to hit the ground running, to make you dangerous. You know, some of the tools that we have listed you may have heard of, you may have used. I know the first one we're starting with is Flipgrid, and I feel like we all know Flipgrid, but there are definitely some tools that maybe the kids aren't familiar with that we want to show you within Flipgrid. There's a ton of things you can do. And then from there, the other tools you may not have heard of. But basically, my point is we plan on, after we do this, we can either do a part 2 next week on more tools, or we can, you know, focus in on one tool and do a 30-minute session on one of the tools. So we might send out a survey of some sort. I know you're probably tired of surveys, but we might send something out to see what you're thinking. I was talking to someone today on the phone, and they were thinking that they'd like a tutorial on the Screencastify and how to use that. So we'll get started.
But with that tool, with that survey, thank you so much to everybody getting back to us. That we were positively overwhelmed by the feedback and the amount of people that like 83 people in like 3 hours got back to us. So thank you very much. That helped us to drive what's going to be helpful to you. All right, Kate, sorry.
No, you're good. If you are a Parks and Rec fan, then you fully understand this scene. Ron Swanson is a libertarian, and he was trying to once butcher a hog in in the park, and someone tried to stop him, and he said, I have a permit. And the permit literally said, I can do what I want, Ron. So this is our envision of if somebody were to do this to Ron Swanson in real life during the coronavirus. And then
you should watch it.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite shows. We quote it all the time, next to Tiger King. By the way, if you haven't seen Tiger King, you need to see that. Those are the 2 must-watches this during this plague. If you're not familiar with Jimmy Fallon, he occasionally puts out a hashtag. So this week he put out a hashtag I'm so bored I. Many of them are not appropriate for this presentation, so I highly encourage you to go look this hashtag up on Twitter, although you might fall down a rabbit hole, because my husband and I definitely spent like an hour last night laughing looking at the hashtags. But this one's not so bad, about hiding a walkie-talkie in the bushes and screaming at people as they go by. I feel like that would be a ton of fun. At this point, I'm kind of bored with Netflix. I'm kind of bored with TV. There's not much to do. So yes, check that hashtag out on Twitter. Okay, so the first thing we are going to check out is Flipgrid, which is a really awesome tool. I know that the elementary is super familiar with it. It's a video response tool. Some of the other more outside of the box capabilities, I'm not so sure we're using with students. So I just wanted to show you some things that you can do to, you know, with Flipgrid real quick. And then the other thing is now that we're home, so students can respond from their computer, from their iPad, or from a phone. So if they have a smart device, they just need to download the app. And sometimes the app is a little bit more fun. It's easier to put their Bitmoji on it. If they can be more creative. You know, if you're teaching something in ELA, you can have them embed their Bitmoji that might display the emotions or the change of emotions that the characters in the story are feeling. Or, you know, they could talk about just some more, they could use these features in complex ways with to show, you know, some higher level thinking. So just wanted to go over some of the extra features within Flipgrid. So if you're not aware, okay, so Flipgrid has a remote learning blog. So most of the sites do at this point. So if you go to any web tool site, they have all, for the most part, put out some type of remote learning blog of some sort. So it will, like this one has different ways to use it. There's some webinars. There's just a lot of really cool stuff. So you've got the Disco Library playlist with 50 plus ready to use discussion prompts, Flipgrid webinars, just different ways. I mean, I've used Flipgrid in the classroom, but as I was going through this, I was learning things that I wish, oh my gosh, I would have done that or thought of that. So even if you're familiar with Flipgrid and you consider yourself like an intermediate user, There's some really cool things out there that are going to kind of blow your mind. So, but once again, if you haven't used Flipgrid, you can create an account by logging in with your Google account, and you're going to create a grid. And so basically think of a grid is per class. So if I have a homeroom, I'll just have one grid for my homeroom. And then within my grid, I'll have several different topics. And each topic is the new discussion post. So just to go into my account really quick, because I also want to show you the Disco library. I think it's something that, you know, we don't always get to utilize. So, okay, so these are all of my grids. So, you know, this was Girls Who Code. And then within Girls Who Code, there's going to be extra topics. Or this is our PD grid. So anytime we do PD, we have grids. So we did 2 truths and a lie with our blended cohort, just something quick. And so if I want to view that as a student, I can click this code. And then it'll ask me to log in. It's like super secure to make sure that it's only our school district. So then if people aren't familiar, or aren't, you know, aren't very comfortable with showing their face, they can put an emoji over their face, or they can pixelate their face. And then if you look over here at Danny, there's 2 bubbles on the right side. That means that her peers have responded to her. So that's a really awesome feature that I'm not sure that we all are aware or turn on. That, you know, if you put out a post there for your kiddos, they can respond to each other, and you can respond to them. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this plus sign. And, ooh, that's distorted. So one of the things you can do is you can have them change it to a whiteboard, or they can change it to a blackboard. And if they're using their Chromebook is, oh, Andy, it's been a long day. What's it called? Touch screen. There we go. So if they are, you know, doing a math problem, they can record themselves talking about, you know, a math equation. Sorry, I'm using a mouse, so this is a little bit more difficult. But if I'm writing, you know, an equation, an algebra equation, and I have to talk about the number of solutions it has, then I can, whoop, that's a plus sign. That's a plus sign. I don't know what's happening there. +2 minus 9x minus 2. And then I can solve it, talk as I'm solving it, and then say there's only one solution for this equation because it's both sides solve for x, and that means blah, blah, blah. So students can really think out loud as they're working using, you know, the Blackboard or the whiteboard feature. And there's also, you know, the text feature. You can put a text box. You can make them do a hashtag that summarizes their experience. There's just so many different features that you can do with Flipgrid that make them think outside the box and really help them demonstrate, you know, a higher level thinking using these things. Let's go back. Oh, the Disco library. I'm not sure if you know about the Disco library. If you do, it's a really awesome tool. You should just ignore me for a second. But the Disco library has all of these other, has them already made that you can copy and edit and paste in your grids. So, you know, there's conversation starters, there's coding ones, hacking STEM, all of these really, code.org, that Wonderopolis, or you can come down here and you can pick your audience. So if I want elementary, and then let's say, sorry guys, if you've been in our presentations before, my computer gets grumpier the longer the day goes. And then maybe I want math. Whoop, helps if I spell. And then, you know, those are going to come up. So let's say I do a number talk. I like this one. It says, convince me that, I want you to post a video convincing me that 99 minus 34 equals 65. You may use any strategy to solve, blah, 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 blah. So then you just pick the grid. So let's say I want it for Penny for Your Thoughts, and I hit add. It's going to allow me to edit. It's not a canned thing. I don't have to use it the way the original author intended to. So maybe I want to name it a different title. Maybe I want it all the way up to 10 minutes or 5 minutes. And then I can edit this. I can add or embed anything I need to do, and then update topic, and it'll go right to my grid. And then I just need to push out that code. I can post that in my Google Classroom. Right here's the code. don't know if you can see that, and then you're ready to go. So the Disco library is a really awesome thing because, you know, so many people already did the work for you, and it can give you some ideas. You can piggyback off of what people have already created.
And whenever you put it to your own grid, you're not messing with anybody else's stuff, which is nice. Like sometimes with Google Docs and like when we did HyperDocs, sometimes when you use somebody else's previously made thing, you have to worry about this working or this working. You're not messing with their things. You can take it right from there and have a start. And it's a really good idea getter.
Yeah. It's, you know, sometimes it's like, okay, I get Flipgrid, but like, how can I use it in a meaningful way besides, okay, tell me what your thoughts were? Because tell me what your thoughts were doesn't necessarily take it to the next level. But when you look at all of these other ways, then you can think, oh, okay, and this is how I can make it meatier, because we tend to use Flipgrid as like, okay, give me your reflection, but there's really some awesome creative, you know, DOK2, DOK3 ways that we could be utilizing Flipgrid.
So on the topic of video, Screencast, a lot of people have talked about wanting to do their own videos to show instruction, to show these different things. And so, yes, Chris, we'll get, yeah.
Well, to their phone or not to their computer, but yes.
Kate, hold on one second, please. I'm sorry.
Ooh. So, Chris, I'm going to answer your question really quick because I'm assuming that was his doorbell. So you do, like, if they use a smartphone or an iPad, they'll want to download that to their device. But if they're using a Chromebook, they just go to the website and then they'll log in using their, as long as they're logged in with their school account, then let's just go back. Oops, not this one. If they're using their school account, then they can just log in through Google. But do you see this number right here in the top of my grid? That is a number that you can give out if they're going to be you know, adding it through their phone, or you can use this little symbol and then, you know, they can add it, or you can even give them the link and they can still go through their phone. Either way, but there's multiple different ways for them to get there. You good, homie?
Yeah, sorry, work question. My wife is a nurse at Lancaster General, so we just have to sort that out. Works for chips. So Screencastify. This is something that some of you may use Screencast-O-Matic, and that works really great. That worked much better on a Mac or PC. But Screencastify works on both. It works on PC, Mac, but it also really works well with a Chromebook. So this is something that we would suggest out if you're going to want to record yourself. It'll say on there up to 5 minutes, but it's actually up to 15 now with the everything being allowed with the times. But in the next slide, if you haven't used Screencastify before, it is an extension that you can download. Some of these links are clickable, and it will put a little arrow on the top right of your screen, and you can see that one circled there. And then this will come up here. We'll ask you to record. So you can do a number of different things with this. You can do just your microphone. So you could just do that part. You could do where you're just do your microphone and your browser tab. And so in there, you're doing a screencast of your slide deck or something that you want the kids to be able to see and be able to do. You can also just do your webcam. And in there, that's where you can do your video. You can share whatever learning you want to. You could do your welcome, and you could do your morning meeting parts through some of that stuff. You could do a lot of different things with that. Or you could do both your browser tab and your webcam, where it goes in the bottom right hand or one of the corners of the screen. So while you're showing your screen, you're also showing your face. And I think that's, you know, a good connectivity part of that. You can enable drawing tools with it now. Once you're done recording, you can upload that to a couple of different places. You could upload it right to your classroom, and this is the screen that comes up. Either way, it's gonna create a folder in your Google Drive, and it will be saved right there. You can also publish it right to YouTube, or you can get the embed code, whatever is going to work for you. Kate and I put just about everything whenever we use Screencastify to YouTube because it's one consistent place. But Screencastify is definitely something that we would suggest using because it's gonna give you a number of different things, and it's also something that, depending on the age level of your kiddos, it has been approved. It's on that list that Kim sent out, so you could have them record or something that would be in there. I know some teachers at different levels are going to do like a mock debate using Screencastify, and they have to give their opening statements and blah 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 blah, a couple of different things that way. If you are a music teacher and you want your kids to be able to play a piece or a part of a piece, this is something that they could use for that as well, and they could upload that and turn that in. A lot of different uses for this. So this can be used for you as the teacher as well as the students, because that is approved. In here then are two different things. There's 50 ways that you can use Screencastify, and this is, if you click on it, which don't do that, Kate, because it'll slow you down. It'll come up with 50 different ways you can use that in your classroom, and there's even in some distance learning stuff. The next slide has 25 ways you can use it with Google Tools, Google Apps, which sounds like just another iteration of what is in the previous one, but this shows specifically to Google, which is super helpful because it does give some different things than was in the original one. So those are some resources you can use for ideas. Again, ideas can't be at a shortage right now, so those are something for you to have. If we go next.
So one of the things that we highly encourage you to do, whether you use Screencastify or Screencast-O-Matic, is to upload your videos to YouTube, because everybody has their own YouTube channel. And so, you know, one of the things, so like let's go back to Google, because it's just easier. You don't have to worry about processing it in your Drive. You don't have to worry about how big the file is. You don't have to worry about the sharing permissions as much. So if you go to your Waffle and you scroll down, you are connected to YouTube through your school account. And this is like your dashboard that, you know, first comes up. But let's just wait until, okay, so if I hit my icon of my face, it says your channel. So you can go to your channel, and then here are all the videos that I've ever uploaded to my YouTube channel. And so when I come here to get videos, I'm going to hit this camera with a plus sign, and it says upload video, and then I'm able to pick a file from my desktop, or even if you have a Chromebook, it still allows you to pick a file that you've downloaded, and then you upload it. And one of the things that you'll do after you're done is you'll want to approve it. So let me go to like this video. So once you've uploaded a video, I don't want it to play. There we go. At the bottom of my video, you can see that there's a blue line, and it says video is approved for sycsd.org. So if you're uploading videos for students, you'll want to hit, I've already hit approve, which I can remove, but you'll want to hit approve, and then you'll send that link out so that if students are watching it on a student or a district-owned device, that they'll be able to access the video that you've uploaded to YouTube. So again, you can go to my channel, and then all the videos that you've ever uploaded to your channel will be there. Okay, let's go back. Okay, actively learn. You know, so this is probably something for like grade 3, grade 4, and up. But there's also Newsela. Both companies, well, Actively Learn, I know for sure, which is a really awesome company, has opened up all of their things to everybody. Like if you never had an account before and you make one today, you'll get the premium version. This is as long as I think Andy and I have known each other, this has been like one of our favorite tools. Think about it's got a bunch of text on the website, and you can embed things, and really it's just taking the students through a close reading experience. So you can embed little notes, you can embed videos, you can embed background information, you can embed definitions, annotation. You can scaffold them, chunk it, whatever. And then you can also embed questions that are tied to standards and DOK levels. So either they're responding just to you with their questions, or they're responding so everybody can see it. But the nice thing is it's kind of like Edpuzzle in that they can't continue to read the text until they've answered the question. And so this is what I see when I log in. And the nice thing about Actively Learn is that if you look over here on the left side where it says classes, those are my Google Classrooms, or at the time that I was using this in 4th grade, these are my Google Classrooms. So like it only integrates with 2 LMSs, and one is Google Classroom, the other one is Canvas. And then previous to, if you're using the freemium version, you could access high interest articles, and you could upload 3 PDFs or 3 articles and then do your own thing. But now it's all available. So the whole curriculum units are available. Let me go over here. So you just sign in with your Google account, and then, oh my gosh, here we go. So if I click on curriculum units, 6th grade, it starts at 6th grade because these are more of like, they're just more powerful units, and they're getting them ready for a TDA. So, I would think 5th and 6th grade could probably use some of these, but those are now open. You can search by genre. You can search by theme, news, articles. So this isn't just for ELA. This is for really all content areas. I've had PE teachers find things on mental health. There's just so many different things you could use here. It's so awesome. And then the nice thing is you can embed different things. But we're going to keep going because I just looked at the time. Favorite tool. There's also a blog if you're interested. How can students work together in a mixed ability classroom? Creating a social studies curriculum that connects students to history in today's world. I think that's the hardest thing, K through 12, trying to find, okay, we're learning about the past. How can we connect that to today's world? So this is the blog, and it is hyperlinked if you're interested. It has a lot of really good things. If you're interested in, again, they also have a remote learning blog, which we've hyperlinked right here. If you're interested in learning more, there are free webinars. We've missed most of them, but they have some today, tomorrow, actually no longer today, tomorrow and Friday that you could sign up for free. So that link is there for you as well. Adobe Spark is a really awesome creation tool that you could use in the classroom. Kids can create graphics, videos, and web pages. They can, respond, with the main idea of a text by showing you visually what that was. Or you can create graphics for your Google Classroom or whatever you need as well. This is one of our favorite tools. And then a very similar tool, well, real quick, the videos that you can create are very much like iMovie. If you think about iMovie, kids can create slides and upload videos. They can record themselves from their Chromebook, and it goes right into the video. So if you want them, it's not as powerful as iMovie. Think it's free, right? So like it's not as powerful as iMovie, but it doesn't have all of the flashy things that iMovie has, but they can still create videos like a slideshow or iMovie. And then here's one of our favorite tools. Canva is so amazing. It doesn't have video capability, and it doesn't have website capability, but it has like thousands and thousands of templates of infographics, worksheets, lesson plans, flyers, certificates. I mean, if Andy or I have ever pushed something out that we were advertising, we've created it in Canva. And in your classroom, they can do very similar things. And this one's even I think more user-friendly. I know Stephanie heavily uses this, Weinmiller, so if you've ever seen some of the pretty stuff she creates, it's also in Canva. Favorite tool, so just amazing.
These are 2 good things that you could have your students do. Yeah, it's all dependent upon the age level of your kiddos and what you're comfortable with. But this is something that they could show their understanding of learning in a creative way. That is not difficult to do, and it's also something that you could do like a meme challenge, and again, depends on the age and level of your kids. You can do a meme challenge, and we have found thousands of memes. We all have during this time, but Kate said it in an earlier one. It's so amazing how creative those people are that are able to do those things. So bringing that as an option in there. So those are just 2. There's other ones, but Canva and Adobe Spark are ones we really love.
Yeah, and the meme challenge. I just want to talk about the meme challenge really quick. Sometimes it's so much more difficult to respond in a creative way than it is to just write it back in a response like a paragraph. So sometimes it's actually like there's a higher level thinking that has to take place. Like Andy and I love those memes on Facebook so much. We send them back and forth to each other. But like I think I have meme artist crushes because to create a really good meme to make, or even a GIF to make someone laugh really hard, you're taking something that was meant for a different situation and you're putting it in a new situation and you're connecting them. And you really have to think about your words. Like that's super intelligent. That's extremely intelligent. Like I don't think I could make a really good quality meme.
So two other ones that we're going to run out of time here, but Cami is something that is also available. This is a PDF annotation tool that serves as an extension. I know that there's a way to turn your PDFs into Google Docs, which I'm sure there's a lot of people that have posted a bit street cred to. Missy Taylor, who posted that, where I saw it first. But Cami is one that it aligns with the drive, and if you push out a PDF, there's a paid version and a free version right now. Everybody's getting the paid version of things for free, but you can annotate through writing on it, where the kids could use the write feature, or they could do a text box. They could do they could highlight a lot of different things. This is where you could have a PDF where they're looking to respond into certain things or provide feedback, show a lot of different things like that. So Cami is something that the box there is clickable to the extension link. And then the last one, which is something we've used before with a couple of different people, but it's Quizizz. And if you've never used Quizizz, it's a really change of pace type thing for student response, and it can be done, in your classroom whenever we have all of that again. But it can also be done in a distance way, either as a competition, or it can be used for like individual pace. If you are interested in Quizizz and don't really know how you could get into that, we can show that. I really like it because it gives the memes as the answer, like as feedback with it, and those make me chuckle. So Quizizz is another one. We wanted to provide a couple of different things in there. Are you going to go to the site? Yep. Mm-hmm. So it's really easy to make, and there are a lot of different ones that you could, again, use what the framework of it is, make it your own, use all of what they have. Some of them are really, really good and really, really funny. But you can use it as solo practice. You can assign it as homework. You can play live, bring in message boards, and the kids don't need to be on there at the same time. So it's not like where everybody, all 45 of us in here, would have to be on it at the exact same time, exact same moment. So that could be pushed out, and you can have a bunch of different ones that brings in reports. And while I know we're not necessarily doing grades right now or things like that, but it can give you feedback as to what your kids are knowing.
Yeah, you can level up or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
You get more coins and you can decide what you're doing as you keep going, or maybe the objective is to get to like 10,000 or whatever, but there's definitely different things you can do with it. It's a better version of Kahoot.
Agreed.
And then real quick, I know we're over. I forgot to put this in the presentation, but Newsela or Newsela, they've opened up some features as well. And so you can get some things that you weren't able to get before.
Common Lit opened up some more things as well. But again, we could do 6 hours of different tools.
Oops, this is the middle school one. But there's a whole section on, not that we want to teach to the TDA because we're not doing PSSAs anymore or ever. We don't ever want to teach to the PSSAs, but there is a whole section on reading for analysis. I can't get to it because my computer's being weird. It's all the way down here at the bottom. There we go. Click. Nope, that's middle school. Okay, there's one. I just got to get to it. Yeah, it won't. Well, if you get there, don't do it while you're recording a live session. Your computer will allow it. It's fine. So let me stop presenting. That'll help.
I put in here the presentation slides if that's something you want. Most of them are clickable where you can get different things. I'll upload this to our YouTube playlist and everything after we're done recording and everything like that. I know we're going to be hitting grade level meetings tomorrow, so if you have questions, keep reaching out. We'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can.